It sounds like vaccines are being made mandatory for children, even though, as we talked about at some length last week, the World Health Organization does not support that point of view. Look at this, by electronic mail from Quebec. Students aged 12 to 17. Therefore, this two-dose condition must be met to ensure activities, such as extracurricular and sports activities, can return to normal in schools. Most importantly, it is key to avoiding a possible fourth wave in the fall. Now, I don't know what must means. And then it says how to do it. Scroll to the next page if you would. So I don't know what must means. Is that an exhortation or is that a command? I think it's interesting that foreign political leaders care more about our freedom in Canada than our own Canadian leaders do. I think that's sad. But we are famous. Here's Ron DeSantis, the most consequential governor in America right now. And I would say a leading candidate for the 2024 Republican nomination for president. Ron DeSantis, just as a throwaway line, using Canada as a punchline for what could have happened had they made the wrong decisions. Take a look.
You see it in a number of different ways. Obviously, we were the leading state fighting against coronavirus lockdowns. We had kids in school in person for the entire school year. I believe had Florida not done that, you would not see the other states to have followed. Canada, for example, still locked down. And I think that's what a lot of these bureaucrats wanted to see in the United States, and we made sure that we led in a different direction.
Yeah, I mean, it's just taken for granted that we are the worst lockdown country in the world. The BBC, the state broadcaster of the UK, says that the city I'm in, Toronto, is the most locked down large city in the world, and I believe it's true. Now, I also see bad news in Israel, where almost everyone's been given the vax, but now they're having another surge or something, and they're having more mask mandates and more lockdowns being floated. Same in New Zealand. I see Quebec has the lowest number of cases in the year, 10 months to be precise. So the pandemic's over, but statistically, I mean, if the number is so low, and I don't know if you saw, but there were thousands, tens of thousands of Quebecers in the streets for the Montreal Canadiens hockey team. So how are you going to ratchet up the fear? Cases are at a low. Everyone's living life normally. It's lovely summertime. So how do you maintain that sense of panic? Well, the government becomes more and more extreme, and they wouldn't do that if they didn't have a reason. The government wouldn't say it's an emergency if it wasn't. Trust the science. There's some bad news out of Quebec. Do we have, I see we say kids must be vaccinated for extracurricular activities. Do you have any viz for that? Can we, I think Viva Fry from Montreal law blogger, YouTuber rather, if you go to his Twitter feed, VIVAFREI, can we zoom in here? So scroll up a bit, but okay, yeah, zoom in is fine. Can you pump that up any bigger? Is that possible? So he's my source of information here, and he has the primary documents. I'll read them to you. It sounds like vaccines are being made mandatory for children, even though, as we talked about at some length last week, the World Health Organization does not support that point of view. Look at this, by electronic mail from Quebec. Students aged 12 to 17. Over the past 2 weeks, a large-scale vaccination campaign was conducted in schools and vaccination centers to provide a first dose of vaccine to adolescents 12 and over. Despite this campaign, the goal was not met. Less than 75% of these young people got a first dose of vaccine. To ensure a safe return to school in September, this goal must be met. Depending on the epidemiological situation, 75% of teenagers must have received both doses of the COVID-19 vaccine before we can ease hygiene measures, such as wearing masks and isolation. Therefore, this two-dose condition must be met to ensure activities, such as extracurricular and sports activities, can return to normal in schools. Most importantly, it is key to avoiding a possible fourth wave in the fall. Now, I don't know what must means. And then it says how to do it. Scroll to the next page if you would. So I don't know what must means. Is that an exhortation or is that a command? Is that, come on guys, you really must? Vaccination is the best way to protect your children and your loved ones and to ensure a normal return to school in the fall. Signed, Director of Public Health, Mylène Drouin, MD. So I'm not sure if that means mandatory for everyone. It's basically the government holding kids hostage and saying if 75% of you don't take 2 doses of this experimental med that has specific health problems for young people, we're not opening schools, we're not getting rid of masks, we're not having extracurriculars. So I don't think it's quite ordering teenagers to be injected, but it's pretty close.
Oh, hi friends. What you just saw there is a clip from our Rebel News daily live stream show. It's fun, it's fast, and it's completely unscripted, so you never really know what you're going to get. Just go to rebelnews.com/livestream.